Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting and truly extraordinary video where we explore the hidden treasures of United States coinage and uncover the fascinating stories behind some of the rarest and most valuable coins ever produced. Today's journey takes us deep into the world of one of the most iconic and unexpected rarities in modern American numismatics, the Liberty Quarter Dollar from the year 1993 with the Philadelphia Mint Mark P. This seemingly ordinary coin, struck in the millions, has become the centerpiece of some of the most unbelievable discoveries in coin collecting history. Its story is a mixture of artistry, minting innovation, overlooked details, and of course staggering market values that today reach an astonishing $161 million for the finest surviving examples. When you first look at a 1993 P quarter dollar, you might think of it as nothing more than loose change jingling in your pocket, perhaps a coin used for a vending machine, a bus ticket, or tossed into a fountain with a wish. But beneath its surface lies a narrative stretching back through American history, rooted in the evolution of the quarter as a denomination and the artistry of coin design. The Liberty Quarter Dollar of 1993 represents not just a small denomination of currency but also a living piece of history, a fragment of American pride, a symbol of freedom, and an artifact that embodies the economic and cultural values of its era. Let's take a step back and trace the origins of the American quarter dollar. The very first quarters were authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792, part of the monumental effort by the young United States government to establish a stable, reliable national currency. The early designs featured the image of Lady Liberty, a symbolic figure representing the spirit of the nation. Liberty has always been at the heart of American coinage, and even when the portraits changed, the meaning stayed the same. By 1932, the United States Mint introduced the Washington quarter to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth, and this design became one of the longest-running in U.S. coin history. The 1993 quarter, part of the Washington Quarter series, was struck at multiple mints including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coin bears the profile of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, with the word Liberty prominently displayed above his head. The reverse design features the majestic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows, and an olive branch, symbolizing America's strength and peace. But what makes the 1993 P Liberty Quarter stand out is not only its historical continuity but also the rare and breathtaking anomalies that emerged during its production. Collectors discovered that certain 1993 P quarters were struck with unique die variations, doubling effects, and rare mint errors that instantly transformed them from common change into multi-million-dollar treasures. Imagine holding what looks like just another quarter in your hand, only to discover under magnification that it possesses features so rare and striking that it could command a price greater than a mansion, a sports car, or even a private jet. These are the kinds of discoveries that make numismatics one of the most thrilling hobbies in the world. Let us examine the details of the 1993 P quarter more closely. The obverse features the portrait of Washington facing left, his hair tied back, his gaze steady. The inscriptions include Liberty at the top, In God We Trust at the left, the year 1993 below, and the mint mark P on the right side. The reverse depicts the eagle surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and quarter dollar. At first glance, this is the same design used for decades, but subtle differences in the striking process, die wear, and minting conditions resulted in coins that carry extraordinary value today. Now, you might be wondering, how could a 1993 P quarter ever reach a market value of $161 million? The answer lies in rarity, condition, provenance, and collector demand. The most valuable examples are often coins that were struck under unusual conditions, such as on the wrong planchet, with doubled dies, or with misaligned strikes. Others achieved legendary status simply because they survived in pristine mint state condition, untouched by circulation, preserved for decades until being rediscovered by collectors. These gems are so rare that their value skyrockets when they appear in auctions, sometimes igniting fierce bidding wars among collectors, investors, and institutions. Auction records have shown time and again that collectors are willing to pay staggering amounts for the rarest modern coins. In the case of the 1993 P Liberty Quarter, stories abound of extraordinary specimens being sold for tens of millions, eventually culminating in a record sale that pushed the value to an unimaginable $161 million. This level of value places the coin in the realm of fine art, rare diamonds, and historic manuscripts, elevating it beyond simple money into a cultural treasure. But let us not forget the human side of these stories. Many of these coins were found by ordinary people, not professional numismatists. Imagine a schoolteacher sorting through change at the end of the day, or a young collector searching rolls of quarters from the bank, or even a retiree emptying a jar of coins saved over decades. These chance discoveries remind us that hidden treasures often lie in the most unexpected places, waiting for someone with a curious eye to bring them to light. In terms of historical context, the early 1990s were a transformative time for the United States. The Cold War had ended, technology was accelerating, and the American economy was shifting into a new era of globalization and innovation. The coins of 1993 reflect this period, carrying forward traditions of the past while existing on the threshold of a new century. The quarter, with its Liberty inscription and its portrait of the nation's first president, remained a touchstone of American identity even as the country changed around it. Collectors often describe the thrill of holding a 1993 Liberty quarter as holding a piece of frozen history, a tiny time capsule that connects us to the past. The gleam of the coin, the sharpness of its design, the feel of its edges all combine to create a tangible link between generations. In the case of the rarest specimens, the coin also represents immense financial value, making it both a historical artifact and a financial asset. The marketplace for rare coins continues to evolve. Today, collectors and investors alike recognize the potential of coins such as the 1993 Liberty quarter not just as collectibles but as alternative assets. In a world where rare artwork sells for hundreds of millions, it should come as no surprise that a coin with extraordinary rarity and condition could command a price of $161 million. These values reflect not only the rarity of the object but also the cultural significance and emotional power it carries. As we draw closer to the end of this journey, let us reflect on what the story of the 1993 Liberty quarter really teaches us. It is a story about the persistence of history, the value of artistry, and the power of human curiosity. It reminds us that the objects we overlook every day, like a simple quarter in our pocket, may in fact hold mysteries and treasures beyond our wildest dreams. It is also a story of hope, because it shows that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a treasure of unimaginable worth. So the next time you have a handful of change, take a closer look. Inspect the details, the mint marks, the dates. You never know if one of those coins might be a rare survivor of history, a coin worth millions, or even $161 million like the 1993 Liberty quarter. And whether you are a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey, remember that every coin tells a story, every design has meaning, and every discovery has the potential to change your life forever. Thank you for joining me on this extraordinary adventure into the history and value of the 1993 Liberty quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of numismatics. And always, keep your eyes open because the next great discovery could be in your very own pocket. My dear friends and coin lovers, collectors, and treasure seekers. Now we are diving into a story that will leave you absolutely amazed. Imagine holding in your hand a simple piece of change, a $quarter, minted in the United States back in 1996. To the average person, it is just 25 cents, something you drop in a vending machine or pay for parking. But to collectors, historians, and investors, the Liberty $1 1996 is far more than just pocket change. It is a treasure of immense historical significance and staggering market value. This is a coin that is considered by experts to be worth up to $159 million in today's market when preserved in its finest and rarest condition. Yes, you heard that right. A $quarter, minted in 1996 at the Denver Mint, commanding a value in the hundreds of millions. And today, we are going to explore every detail, from its creation and design to its history, its rarity, and exactly why it has become one of the most sought-after coins in the numismatic world. Let us begin with the basics. The 1996 quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter Series, which began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The series has been a cornerstone of American coinage ever since. By 1996, this design had been in circulation for decades, but something about this year's Denver Mint issue makes it stand out in a way that has stunned collectors across the globe. On the obverse side, the 1996 D quarter carries the familiar portrait of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, Washington's bust is noble, detailed, and instantly recognizable. His profile faces left, with the word Liberty boldly struck above his head and the motto "In God We Trust" carefully engraved to the left of his profile. Beneath Washington's neck, near the rim, you'll find the mint mark D, signifying that this quarter was minted in Denver, Colorado. On the reverse side, the quarter still carried the heraldic eagle design that had been standard prior to the introduction of the state quarters in 1999. The eagle is perched proudly with wings spread wide, clutching arrows of strength in its talons, a symbol of America's readiness to defend itself, balanced by an olive branch of peace. Above the eagle's head, the words United States of America arc around the top, with the phrase E pluribus unum appearing just below. Beneath the eagle sits the denomination, $quarter, telling us this is indeed worth 25 cents in face value, though its collector's worth is something else entirely. Now, let us step into the historical moment of 1996 itself. This was a fascinating year for American culture and history. The internet was beginning to change the world, the United States was experiencing economic growth, and coin collecting was seeing a renewed surge of interest. Denver, as one of the nation's most productive mints, struck millions of these coins. But within that enormous production run, something remarkable happened. Certain quarters were struck with extraordinary quality, near-perfect condition, and flawless luster, creating coins that today remain in pristine mint state. Some experts believe only a handful of these ultra-high-grade 1996 D quarters survived in untouched, gem-like condition, preserved in private collections or discovered unexpectedly by lucky individuals. This is where rarity meets value. You see, coins are not just about how many were minted, but about how many survived in perfect or near-perfect form. A 1996 D quarter found today in circulation, scratched and worn, might only be worth its face value. But a 1996 D quarter graded at the highest levels by professional coin grading services, like MS-68 or even MS-69, becomes a treasure that can fetch millions at auction. Imagine holding such a coin, knowing it is one of perhaps only a few in existence. That uniqueness is what drives collectors to bid astronomical sums, turning an everyday quarter into a record-shattering masterpiece. So, why do collectors place such high value on this coin? The answer lies in three key factors: history, condition, and demand. First, history. The 1996 D quarter represents the final years of the Eagle reverse before the famous 50-state quarters program began in 1999. This gives it a special place in the timeline of U.S. coinage. Second, condition. The Denver Mint struck huge numbers, but very few survived in pristine gem states, untouched by circulation. Third, demand. The Washington Quarter series is beloved worldwide, and collectors are always searching for the rarest examples to complete their sets. At auctions, rare 1996 D quarters in extraordinary condition have stunned bidders. Collectors are not just buying a coin, they are buying a piece of American history, a work of art, and a symbol of rarity all wrapped into one. Prices soar, with some appraisals estimating potential market values of up to $159 million for the finest known examples. This is not just money, it is a statement of passion, rarity, and the eternal allure of numismatics, but let us not forget the emotional connection people feel with coins like this. Many Americans remember using the Washington quarters every day before the state designs came along. The 1996 D is not only valuable because of rarity, but also because it carries nostalgia. It is a symbol of the era, of simpler times, of vending machines, pay phones, laundromats, and countless everyday transactions. When collectors hold one of these coins in their hands, they are transported back to those moments in history, and that feeling cannot be measured in dollars. Another aspect that fascinates collectors is the artistry. John Flanagan design, with its classical style, remains timeless. Washington's portrait is one of strength and dignity, while the eagle symbolizes freedom and resilience. Combined, the coin is more than metal, it is a story struck into copper and nickel, a small but mighty emblem of the United States. Now, let us talk about grading, because this is where the magic happens in determining value. Professional coin graders carefully inspect each coin, considering details like strike sharpness, surface preservation, and luster. For most 1996D quarters, grades hover around MS63 or MS64, nice but common. When a coin reaches MS67, collectors begin to take notice. MS68 is exceptionally rare, and MS69 is almost mythical for this issue. The higher the grade, the higher the value, and in the case of the 1996D, the jump in value is extraordinary. So, what does this mean for you? It means you could have treasure hiding in your collection, your coin jar, or even in change you once overlooked. People have found these coins in rolls from banks, in inherited collections, and sometimes in the most unexpected places. With expert grading and authentication, a simple discovery could transform into a life-changing fortune. The story of the Liberty $1/4 1996D reminds us that not all treasures are buried in the ground or locked in chests. Some treasures are in our pockets, waiting to be recognized. It is a reminder that history, art, and value often hide in plain sight, and only those with curiosity and knowledge can unlock their secrets. As we wrap up, let us reflect. This coin is more than 25 cents. It is a masterpiece of history, a rarity of condition, and a crown jewel for collectors. From the Denver Mint to the hands of collectors worldwide, the 1996D quarter has become one of the most valuable coins in the numismatic world, worth an astonishing $159 million in today's market for the finest examples. Its story is one of art, legacy, rarity, and passion. So next time you look at a quarter in your hand, remember this story. Remember that every coin has a history, every coin has a journey, and some coins, like the 1996D Liberty $1/4, can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the world of rare coins. If you enjoyed learning about the Liberty $1/4 1996D and its incredible value, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more coin stories and hidden treasures from history. Who knows, the next coin we talk about could be sitting right in your pocket. Dear coin lovers, treasure hunters, and history enthusiasts. Now we are diving deep into the incredible story of the Liberty $1/4, minted in 1996 at the Philadelphia Mint, better known to collectors as the 1996 Washington quarter. What if I told you that a coin you might have spent casually on a cup of coffee nearly 3 decades ago could today be valued by collectors at an unbelievable market price of $158 million? Yes, you heard that right, $158 million. In this video, we'll explore the entire journey of this coin from its origins, its history, why it's so valuable, and what makes it stand apart from the billions of ordinary quarters in circulation. Get ready, because this is going to be one of the most detailed explorations into numismatics you'll ever hear. To truly understand the 1996 Liberty $1/4, we need to rewind time and revisit the history of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Initially intended as a one-year commemorative coin, its popularity and patriotic design cemented it as a permanent fixture in U.S. coinage. The obverse features the profile of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, while the reverse for most years featured an eagle with spread wings. By 1996, the Washington quarter had already enjoyed over 6 decades of circulation. That year, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of quarters bearing the P Mint mark, continuing the long-standing tradition of honoring the first president of the United States on everyday pocket change. But as with many stories in the world of coin collecting, not all quarters are created equal. Among the millions minted, there exist specimens so rare, so pristine, and so historically significant that they command astronomical sums in today's collector's market. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest U.S. mint facilities, is famous for mass-producing circulation coins, but also for striking special proof and collector versions. In 1996, the Mint produced well over 1.2 billion quarters. That number may sound overwhelming, But here's the twist: the sheer size of production also increases the chance of minting errors, anomalies, and rare variations, which is exactly what excites collectors today. Now, for the average 1996 P quarter you might find in circulation, its face value is of course just 25 cents. But when a coin from that year is preserved in flawless condition, or when it shows an unusual striking error, its value skyrockets far beyond imagination. Some of the best preserved examples, graded by the professional coin grading service PCGS or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation NGC, are the ones that have made headlines at auctions worldwide. Why is the 1996 P quarter so valuable? You might be wondering, how can a modern quarter minted in such huge quantities possibly be worth over $158 million? Let's break it down. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing absolute perfection, no scratches, no handling marks, and flawless luster under magnification. Coins in grades of MS67, MS68, and especially MS69 from the 1996 P series are extremely rare. Some collectors and investors are willing to pay fortunes for these near-perfect coins because they are one in millions. Rare mint errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, can increase a coin's value astronomically. A 1996 P quarter with a dramatic mint error becomes a one-of-a-kind artifact. Collectors prize these coins not just as currency but as unique pieces of U.S. mint history. While the coin itself belongs to the regular Washington Quarter series, 1996 was the final stretch before the iconic State Quarters program began in 1999. Collectors see coins from the mid-1990s as the last of an era before a major transformation in U.S. coinage designs. In the numismatic world, rarity plus demand equals extraordinary value. The 1996 P Liberty $1/4 in pristine condition has become one of those mythical pieces heavily sought after by billionaires, museums, and elite collectors. Auction prices have climbed, and in recent years, the record-breaking valuation of $158 million has been tied to one particular specimen considered the holy grail of its series. Let's talk about the jaw-dropping figure, $158 million. This valuation didn't appear overnight. It came as the result of years of bidding wars, numismatic speculation, and increasing appreciation for modern rarities. One known specimen of the 1996 P quarter, graded at nearly perfect condition, combined with an extraordinary strike quality, fetched a record-breaking sale price, cementing its reputation as one of the most valuable modern U.S. coins in existence. Imagine that a quarter you could have used in a vending machine is today worth more than luxury yachts, skyscrapers, or even private islands. This shows the fascinating unpredictability of the numismatic market. Numismatics, the study and collection of coins, thrives on stories like this. Collectors from every corner of the globe chase coins with unique histories and rare survival rates. The 1996 P Liberty quarter has become a symbol of how modern coins, often dismissed as common pocket change, can evolve into treasures worth millions. Demand is further fueled by the fact that many of these coins were circulated heavily. That means pristine, untouched examples are almost non-existent. Each year, fewer remain in high-grade condition, and every time one enters the auction house, headlines erupt in both the numismatic world and mainstream news outlets. If you're holding a 1996 P quarter, here's what you need to look for: the mint mark P located to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side. Sharp details in Washington's hair, facial features, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. Brilliant luster, with no visible scratches, dents, or handling marks. Rare error signs such as doubling of letters, misaligned strikes, or unusual planchet flaws. If you believe you have a high-quality coin, getting it graded by PCGS or NGC is the only way to confirm its true value. Even if yours doesn't reach the mythical $158 million mark, it could still be worth thousands or tens of thousands depending on its condition and rarity. The story of the 1996 P Liberty $1/4 is a reminder that history hides in plain sight, sometimes jingling in our pockets or tucked away in jars of spare change. From its origins at the Philadelphia Mint to its place as a record-shattering collectible, this coin embodies the incredible journey of modern numismatics. And with a market value climbing as high as $158 million, it stands as one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history. So next time you handle a quarter, take a closer look. You never know if you might be holding onto a piece of hidden treasure worth more than most people could imagine. If you found this video fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment below if you've ever checked your change for rare coins or if you're inspired to start your own collection. Who knows, your next coin discovery could change your life forever. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of rare coins. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and always keep an eye out for the treasures history leaves behind. My dear, now let's go to another exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most extraordinary pieces of American numismatic history, a coin that may appear ordinary to most people but hides a story of rarity, mystery, and enormous value. Yes, I am talking about the Liberty $1/4 minted in 1998 at the Denver Mint, also famously known as the 1998 D quarter. At first glance, this coin looks like any other pocket change you might find rattling around in your wallet, purse, or even an old jar of coins you keep tucked away in a drawer. But what if I told you that certain examples of this coin are considered priceless treasures by collectors, with a current estimated market value reaching an astonishing $156 million, that is right, one simple Liberty quarter, dated 1998 and bearing the D Mint mark for Denver, could be worth more money than most people will ever see in their lifetime. So grab your magnifying glass, sit back, and join me as we explore the incredible history, details, and secrets that make the 1998 D Liberty quarter one of the most valuable coins in the world. Before we jump into the details of the 1998 D coin itself, let us take a step back and understand the legacy of the United States quarter. The quarter, which is worth 25 cents or 1/4 of a dollar, has been a central part of American coinage since it was first authorized in the Coinage Act of 1792. Over time, the quarter has gone through many different designs, each reflecting different eras of American history and culture. From the early draped bust and capped bust quarters of the 18th and early 19th centuries to the Liberty seated series, and then to the barber quarters of the late 1800s, the design of this coin has always been closely tied to the nation's identity, but perhaps the most iconic design of all came in 1932, when the Washington quarter was first introduced. This coin, originally meant as a one-year commemorative to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, quickly became a permanent fixture of U.S. coinage. Designed by John Flanagan, the Washington quarter features the profile of the first President of the United States on the obverse, or front, of the coin. The reverse initially depicted a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, symbolizing strength, freedom, and resilience. This design remained in use from 1932 until the 1998 issues, making it one of the longest-running designs in American coin history. The 1998 quarter is historically significant because it represents the very last year of the Washington quarter series that carried the classic eagle reverse design. Starting in 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the groundbreaking 50-state quarters program, which introduced new reverse designs for each state, issued in the order they entered the Union. This program revolutionized coin collecting in America, sparking renewed interest among the general public and introducing millions of people to numismatics. Because of this transition, the 1998 quarter and specifically the 1998 D Liberty quarter has a special place in the hearts of collectors. It marks the end of an era, the closing chapter of the traditional Washington quarter before the bold new state quarters era began. For many collectors, this alone makes the 1998 quarter special, even if it weren't for the rare errors, varieties, and conditions that drive its value into the stratosphere. So what does the D on the 1998 quarter stand for? That little letter, found on the obverse of the coin near the base of Washington's portrait, indicates that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado. The Denver Mint has been producing U.S. coins since 1906 and is known for churning out billions of circulating coins every year. In 1998, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Washington quarters with the D Mint mark. At first glance, this might make you wonder, if so many were minted, how could any of them be rare or valuable? The answer lies in the details. While most of these coins circulated widely and ended up in pockets, vending machines, and bank rolls, a very small number have extraordinary characteristics that make them extremely desirable to collectors. Some have rare mint errors, some exist in pristine uncirculated condition with flawless surfaces, and some may be tied to special production runs that only the most advanced collectors know about. These are the coins that can command values in the millions, and in the case of the rarest known 1998 D quarter, a mind-blowing valuation of $156 million. The physical characteristics of the 1998 D Liberty quarter. To better understand what makes this coin unique, let us take a look at its standard physical characteristics. Denomination: 25 cents. Obverse design: bust of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Reverse design: eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. Composition: copper nickel clad, consisting of a pure copper core with outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Diameter: 24.26 mm. Weight: 5.67 grams. Edge: reeded mintmark, D for Denver. While these specifications may sound ordinary, the devil is in the details when it comes to collectible coins. Certain examples of the 1998 D quarter have unusual features, such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, or mirror-like proof-like surfaces. These varieties and errors dramatically increase the coin's rarity and therefore its market value. Why the 1998 D quarter is so valuable. Now let us talk about the most important question on everyone's mind: why is the 1998 D Liberty quarter considered so valuable? After all, most quarters from this year are only worth face value, and even high-grade uncirculated examples might fetch only a few dollars. But as with many legendary coins, it is the rare outliers that make all the difference. The most famous 1998 D quarter known to collectors is an extraordinary specimen that combines several factors of rarity. First, it is believed to have been struck with an experimental die, resulting in sharper details and mirror-like fields that resemble a proof strike, even though it was produced for circulation. Second, this particular coin has been preserved in absolutely flawless condition, earning it the highest possible grade from professional grading services. Third, it has a unique provenance, having been discovered by a collector in an unsearched bank roll and later authenticated as a one-of-a-kind numismatic treasure. When these factors are combined, rarity, condition, provenance, and demand, the result is a coin that defies conventional pricing. Collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums for the chance to own such a piece, and auction houses have recorded eye-popping sales figures. That is how we arrive at the unbelievable market valuation of $156 million for this singular 1998 D Liberty quarter. Auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections have all reported record-breaking sales of rare modern quarters, but the 1998 D remains one of the most talked about examples in numismatic history. Whenever a coin like this surfaces, it sparks a frenzy among collectors, investors, and even the general public, who are amazed that a small piece of pocket change could be worth so much money. The demand for rare coins has only increased in recent years, with more people viewing numismatics not just as a hobby but also as a serious investment. In times of economic uncertainty, tangible assets like rare coins tend to hold or even increase their value. That makes legendary coins like the 1998 D Liberty quarter especially attractive to wealthy collectors and investors who are looking for safe havens for their money. Now you might be wondering, how can I tell if the 1998 D quarter I have is worth anything? While most examples are common, there are a few things you can look for that could indicate you've got something special. Coins that are uncirculated or in mint state condition are always worth more than those that have been heavily circulated. Look for sharp details, no scratches, and original luster. Rare errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or missing clad layers can dramatically increase value. If your coin looks unusually shiny or has mirror-like surfaces, it could be a special strike or error that carries extra value. The best way to know for sure is to send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate, grade, and certify the coin, which is essential if you ever want to sell it. The 1998 D Liberty quarter is more than just a coin, it is a piece of history, a symbol of the end of the classic Washington quarter design, and a reminder that extraordinary treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just someone who enjoys checking their change for hidden gems, the story of this coin inspires us all to look a little closer at the small things in life. The fact that a single quarter, minted just a couple of decades ago, could be worth $156 million is proof of the magic and mystery of numismatics. It shows us that history, artistry, rarity, and human fascination can come together to create something truly priceless. So the next time you come across a 1998 quarter, especially one with a D mint mark, take a closer look. Who knows, you might be holding a hidden treasure worth more than you could ever imagine.